What if I told you there's a kind of battery that could survive longer than you, your children, and even generations after them? A power source capable of operating for centuries without ever being recharged. It sounds like something pulled straight from science fiction, but it's very real. Welcome to the world of nuclear batteries. For years, these technologies remained hidden in the background, used only for the harshest environments in science and space exploration. But that's beginning to change. If you've ever imagined devices that never die, or wondered how future spacecraft, satellites, and drones will stay powered for decades, then this story matters. Today, we're exploring the history of nuclear batteries, the breakthroughs driving them forward, and the future they could create for global energy systems. And what's coming next may completely transform the way humanity thinks about power itself. Nuclear batteries, often known as beta-voltaics, have been around for decades, though their use has always been extremely limited. In the past, these devices generated only tiny amounts of electricity, usually measured in microwatts. That's just 1/1,000,000th of a watt. Nowhere near enough to power everyday electronics beyond specialized sensors. One example is beta-volt, a Chinese company working with radioactive nickel isotopes. Their battery reportedly has a lifespan of about 100 years, allowing it to generate electricity for an entire century. The downside is that it only produces around 100 microwatts, barely enough to operate something as simple as a calculator. Meanwhile, in the United States, City Labs has created batteries based on tritium, a radioactive form of hydrogen, with a 1-2-year half-life. These systems are dependable, but remain restricted to extremely low-power applications. In the United Kingdom, the company Arconlight has experimented with carbon-14, producing devices that could theoretically function for nearly 5,000 years. The trade-off, however, is incredibly low energy output, again limited to microwatts. The real advantage of these early nuclear batteries was longevity. Think about instruments trapped beneath Antarctic ice, probes drifting through deep space, or research stations operating in dangerous environments. Replacing batteries in places like these is nearly impossible, so a power source that lasts for decades becomes invaluable. That's where compact, button-sized nuclear batteries found their purpose. Outside those specialized situations, though, their weak energy production kept them from becoming mainstream technology. Over the last several years, things have started to shift. Companies are no longer content with tiny amounts of nuclear-generated electricity. Instead, they're looking for ways to scale the technology into something more practical. One major approach is stacking multiple cells together. Rather than depending on a single microwatt-scale battery, engineers combine many units to create higher voltage and more useful levels of power. For instance, the company Infinite Power filed a patent for a nuclear battery system roughly the size of a cubic meter, capable of producing close to 3 watts of electricity. That may still sound small, but compared to earlier generations, it represents a dramatic improvement. Beta-Volt has also suggested that its miniature battery cells can be linked together to create outputs ranging from microwatts up to several watts. Although many details remain unclear, the idea itself is reasonable. Even a few watts could support long-term sensors, remote communication systems, or monitoring stations in isolated areas. Imagine a weather transmitter in Antarctica operating continuously for decades, or a wildlife observation camera that never needs its battery replaced. Ideas like these are no longer just science fiction. They represent the next logical evolution of nuclear battery technology as it grows beyond its original limitations. If small nuclear cells can only generate microwatts or a few watts, then how can the technology be expanded further? The solution lies in using something radioactivity naturally produces in large quantities: heat. This concept is the foundation of radioisotope thermoelectric generators, commonly called RTGs. RTGs function by placing heat-producing radioactive materials such as plutonium, 238, or strontium, 90 inside protective containers surrounded by thermoelectric materials. These materials convert the temperature difference between the extremely hot radioactive core and the cooler surrounding environment into electrical energy. It's an elegant solution that avoids many of the radiation damage problems faced by delicate semiconductor systems, while delivering far greater amounts of usable electricity. NASA began using RTGs during the 1960s, and they quickly became essential for deep space missions. The Voyager spacecraft, the Curiosity rover on Mars, and the New Horizons mission all depend on RTGs for power. These systems often generated hundreds of watts, enough to support instruments, communications equipment, and onboard heating far away from sunlight. The Soviet Union also deployed RTGs extensively, using them in isolated navigation beacons and unmanned stations throughout Siberia. However, RTGs also carry serious risks. In some remote regions, abandoned units were scavenged by people unaware of the dangerous radiation inside, leading to tragic accidents as individuals tried using the devices as heat sources. Even with those concerns, RTGs remain incredibly powerful technologies. Modern companies are redesigning them with safer materials, smaller structures, and greater efficiency. By converting heat rather than relying on fragile electronics alone, RTGs form the bridge between tiny nuclear batteries and a future where nuclear power systems may reach kilowatt-scale performance. Startups and military demand. In recent years, nuclear battery innovation has moved beyond government agencies and into the startup world. This change matters because startups are often more willing to experiment and push technologies toward practical commercial uses that larger institutions may avoid. One of the biggest groups showing interest is the military. Take Xenopower as an example. This American startup has developed compact RTG designs that significantly reduce the size of traditional systems while still providing between 10 and 100 watts of continuous power. The company emphasizes civilian applications such as satellites, underwater monitoring stations, and scientific equipment in remote environments. Still, the military potential is impossible to ignore. A drone equipped with such a power source could remain active for weeks or even months without refueling, greatly extending surveillance and communication capabilities. Another company, NDB or Nano Diamond Batteries, has expanded beyond small beta-voltaic systems and is now pursuing medium-sized RTGs, capable of producing anywhere from a few watts to several kilowatts. These systems are promoted as energy solutions for off-grid communities, space habitats, and localized heating systems. Yet the defense possibilities are equally obvious. Silent, maintenance-free, long-lasting nuclear power sources are highly attractive for remote military installations and autonomous equipment. Other organizations, such as Holosgen Industries, are exploring microreactors, essentially miniature nuclear plants capable of generating from kilowatts to megawatts of electricity. Whether these technologies are used for disaster recovery, underground facilities, or future space colonies, the distinction between civilian and military applications remains extremely thin. The future of nuclear batteries. The future of nuclear batteries appears both exciting and disruptive. For decades, these technologies existed only on the edges of science and engineering, useful mainly for powering sensors, spacecraft, or equipment located in environments too dangerous or distant for humans. The biggest limitation was always insufficient power output, but recent progress is beginning to change that. Through stacked beta-voltaic cells, companies are moving from tiny microwatt-scale devices toward practical watt-level systems, opening the door to long-lasting sensors, beacons, and monitoring technologies. More importantly, the renewed interest in RTGs provides a path toward tens or even hundreds of watts,